Coming up, new council is rocking and rolling. Coming events, answering your questions and more on this episode of the Monday Morning Show. And good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Show for Monday, January 7th, 2018. My name's Peter Butler. Thank you so much for being here and welcome. I hope you're having a great morning. I know I am so far. Kind of cold this morning. They're saying overcast today, high of -2, but it feels like -8, and I can attest to that. I came in this morning and it was a little cool, moving a little quickly to get inside, that's for sure. Colder morning, make sure you dress for it, wear your hats and mitts, all that kind of good stuff. We were kind of lucky last little while with some mild weather over the holidays and whatnot. I'm not sure. They're saying positive +5 tomorrow, I guess. So we'll see what happens, how that works out. How did your New Year's go? Hope you had a good New Year's. This is the first show of 2019. Looking forward to an amazing year. How did your New Year's go? We had a quiet evening. Did you do the New Year's resolutions? Is that something people do? New Year's resolutions. I mean, I think it's something that we always talk about, things that we're gonna change. It's gonna be different this year, and then there's a bit of a slow moving curve that comes down as those New Year's resolutions get forgotten. But then in January of next year, we're right back on the bandwagon again. So yeah, I had a couple I've made about being a little more active, a little more healthier lifestyle and whatnot. So I'll cheers to that. Caffeine we always have to have. We always have to have our caffeine. But did you see there was a post? There was a post that Amy made about, okay, so first let's go back. There was a post, actually an article published by Norfolk Today, the website, and then of course the Facebook group. They quoted the treasurer as, how did it go? The treasurer was quoted as saying that there would be a 4.7% increase in property taxes. So Norfolk Today, of course, reported, hey, look out, here it comes, an increase in our property taxes. And Amy was quick to jump in there and post that, listen, this is just a proposal. It hasn't been approved yet. It's just a proposal. And that's how that worked, to let you know. There are committees and there are and whatnot that make recommendations to council. Council look at those recommendations and make their decision. They'll vote on those recommendations. So it's only a recommendation that may or may not be coming forward to the council to make a decision on in regards to budget talks. So let's be clear on that. That was a little bit misleading in my opinion. It was misleading saying that it's set in stone. Now, I'm not saying that it won't come or it will come. I'm just saying that the council hasn't made a decision on that yet. So thank you to Amy Martin for clearing that up. But let's get right into the show this morning. I'm already getting into the news on me here, but we'll get right into the show with one of these right here.
James McCarthy reporting. For up-to-the-minute reports, stay tuned to this station. Now, the news.
In the news, brought to you by Royal LePage Brown Realty for all your real estate needs in and around Norfolk County. So I was talking about the council there a second ago with Amy Martin and so forth. Yeah, they're off to a great start, in my opinion. I think they've got some great things happening. One of the things, of course, our new mayor, Crystal Chop, and our councilor, Amy Martin, have talked about is keeping their campaign promises. And they're really trying to keep on top of those promises and ensure that sort of stuff happens. In particular, cutting red tape and costs, of course, as well. Some of the highlights, they are revisiting decisions by the former council that forbade cannabis retail locations and backyard chickens. So, bit of a chuckle, the backyard chickens, but they are looking at that again. That's part of the comment, I think, that Amy Martin made a great comment, and so did Crystal Chop, in regards to trying to control property owners and what they can and cannot do. Let's look for reasons why they can do stuff instead of reasons why they cannot do stuff. So they're relooking at revisiting the cannabis retail locations and the backyard chickens. There was a previous decision to hire a Toronto lawyer at $160,000 over the next 5 years to sit as the integrity commissioner for Norfolk. And this is something that counties have. the local governments have an integrity commissioner that oversees a lot of the decision making and makes recommendations. They're basically a consultant. I'm not sure how much work they actually do, how often they're called upon, or what their role is. Make it very clear, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm glad to see that they're going to revisit some of these larger expenditures that were made by the previous council in the past year or so. So they're going to review that and have a look at that. They're going to table that decision until they can have further discussion to look into it a little further. Looking at increased fees for ice rental and planning department fees. They're looking at why there's been large increases in those items. Looking into how Norfolk can be more open for business and make it easier to adapt to changing times. Very, very cool. And already they've planned permission was granted to a Woodhouse business for glamour camping, for glamping. So some good things happening off the pop. 2019 starting off well. I think with the council, really happy to see what they're doing. Some of the great things that are happening. Now there's been controversy as well. I mean, there's always two sides of a discussion. There's the left and the right, and this is what happens. This is how things get reviewed and get looked at, and every option considered. So great to see, and I have big hopes for this council. So we'll see how things progress as the year goes on. Coming events, of course, Port Dover Lions Silver Lake Market. You got to go down to the market. I'm not sure if you've been there yet. You've got to get down there every Saturday morning, 8 until 1 p.m., 8 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Get down there for the produce and vegetables, all that kind of good stuff. The meat, there's a meat deli down there. DeConnings are down there. Europa Bakery's down there with lots of bread and all buns and that sort of thing. Other vendors as well. The popcorn ladies down there and all that kind of good stuff. So check it out. Walt's Kitchen for a sandwich. You get a little breakfast, free coffee. You can't go wrong. So check that out Saturday mornings at the St. Patrick Street, the Port Dover Lions Silver Lake Market. And of course, the on the 23rd, January 23rd, Port Dover Foundation. I'm not sure if you're aware of what the Port Dover Foundation is. Port Dover Foundation is a group of people that are like-minded people that are looking at investing in Port Dover and improving Port Dover and looking at charitable sort of ideas and that that people have to improve Dover. They have money to donate to people that are looking to improve Dover. And so January 23rd at the Lighthouse Festival Theater, 7 until 8 p.m. Come on out, meet with other like-minded people and listen to presentations from these local charitable groups and projects, and then you'll get a chance to vote on these projects to see which ones are going to receive the charitable donations. So very cool. That's at Lighthouse Festival Theater, January 23rd, Port Dover Foundation hosting a Friends of Dover evening. Awesome. So if you have an event you want me to talk about on the show, send it in. Happy to announce it here on the show. But we'll get right into our next little segment here, right here.
Captain, incoming message.
Of course. Well, I'm a realtor. As you're aware, I'm a broker with Royal LePage Brown Realty, located right down here, downtown Port Dover. And I answer real estate questions. It's one of the things that I do. Happy to answer those questions. If you have any questions, send them in, realtorpeterbutler@gmail.com. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. So today is the importance of being pre-approved. Now we're getting into, honestly, I know we're in January, but we're starting into the spring market. There's already discussion. We've been talking with potential sellers, started last fall, people looking at selling their houses. We've been talking to them about getting their house ready, renovations they should do, updates, that sort of thing. What's the best use of their money, best return on investment, preparing for that spring market. I'll tell you, once the weather starts to turn a little nice in March, the signs start popping up and the market begins. So as much as sellers are getting ready, so are buyers. And so the best thing that a buyer can do right now is get pre-approved. Pre-approved is the way to go. Get in and get pre-approved because it's a valuable tool. It means that the lender has checked your credit rating. They've verified your documentation, all that kind of stuff to approve you for a specific loan amount. And it's so important to know what value range you should be looking in. I mean, certainly if you're looking in the wrong value range, it's going to be a waste of your time. And if you're wasting your time, you may miss the house that's meant for you. And you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Go to the bank. It doesn't cost you a dime to get pre-approved. Now that pre-approval will last for an indefinite definite period of time. Okay, typically 90 days. Talk to your lender about that, how long that's good for. Okay, and why it's only good for a certain amount of time, because your situation may change. They look at your total debt, they look at your income, and all that, of course, fluctuates as time passes. So that pre-approval is good for a certain amount of time, but get in there and check that out. Make them part of your plan. Okay, as much as a real professional realtor can help you purchase or sell your home, you need to talk to your bank as well, your lender, to ensure that they're part of the process and that they're on the same page, because they're all on the team helping you reach your goals. That's for darn sure. Now, be aware though that once you get your pre-approval, and we help you get that offer in, get the offer accepted, and it's financing time, the bank will most likely do an appraisal on the home, because you've been approved for a certain amount. Now the house has to be approved for that purchase amount. So that'll happen as well. So there'll be a final approval once you've submitted an offer and had it approved and so forth. So very, very cool. Great questions. If you have any questions, send them in. realtorpeterbutler@gmail.com. Happy to answer any questions you may have. If I use your question on the air, I got a nice little gift for you, and we'll get all that done. So awesome questions. Keep them coming in. We'll keep answering them. Let's move into our next little section here, which I always have a good time with. It's right. Where is it? It's right there. Yes. So, of course, I'm a movie buff, as you're aware, especially in these winter months. A lot more movies being watched this time of year. And, so I've got a movie this morning I want to talk to you about. I've got a little preview clip we're going to play here, as is typical. We'll play this preview clip and then see if you can figure out what it is. I'm sure you will.
My father was a lighthouse keeper. My mother was a queen. But life has a way of bringing people together.
We could unite our worlds one day.
Check it out. Arthur is talking to the fish.
They made me what I am. Permission to come aboard?
Yes, so Aquaman. Now, Will and I went and saw Aquaman the other night at the Strand Theater. We had a blast. It was so much fun. Great movie. Rotten Tomatoes they give it 64%, audience score of 80. I give it 100%. It was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm a big Jason Momoa fan, to be honest with you, so that was a given. But it is playing at the Strand Theater. Stars Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, and William Dafoe. Of course, Jason Momoa, Game of Thrones, Khal Drogo, everybody knows him. Did an amazing job in that. Amber Heard plays Mira, of course, in the movie, the betrothed of King Orm. She also played Mira in Justice League in 2017. So a great actress as well. Does a really good job. And Willem Dafoe, I mean, the guy, what can I say about this guy? He's in everything. He's been in movies for so long. A great actor. Everybody knows him. In particular, if you're a Marvel fan, DC Comics fan, he was also Hobgoblin in the Spider-Man series. So yeah, great actors in this movie. I really enjoyed it. Will enjoyed it as well. It's an old story. The Aquaman comics have been around forever. Not even sure. 60s, I think, is when Aquaman was created back in the day. Stan Lee and all that sort of good stuff. But the real quick write-up on it, Arthur Curry, who, of course, is the alter ego of Aquaman, Arthur Curry learns that he is the heir to the underwater kingdom of Atlantis and must step forward to lead his people and be a hero of the world. So again, Jason Momoa. And I want to say, again, Marvel brought some humor to the movie, and Jason Momoa has his own brand of comedy, that's for sure, and he does make it kind of lighthearted, but it's a really good movie. Love the action sequences, love the visuals, just a great movie overall. And listen, you know what? The Strand, was relatively inexpensive in comparison to going to say one of the larger theaters in the city. Will and I had a really good time. We had some popcorn and some root beer, me and my root beer, and watched the movie and had a really good time. Comfortable seats and on and on. So check that out at the Strand. It is playing right now. Aquaman 2018. You got to check out that movie. Listen, that's the show for today. Hope you had a good time. I'm going to get back into my secret formula. So when I have a sore throat, I'm not sure about the rest of you, but when I have a sore throat, I get right into the Buckley's. Now listen, Buckley's tastes good and it works. Okay, maybe it doesn't taste so good. It tastes awful, to be honest with you. It's awful. It's like pine tar, but it works. When I got up this morning, I was feeling pretty rough. Got a spoonful of that in, it just scares the cold right out of you. I'm not kidding you. This stuff will scare the cold right out. Anything else you've got going on too, it'll fix you right up. So check out the Buckley's. So that's the show. I hope you had a good time. I know I always do. It's a great way to start off my Monday morning is with all my friends and having a coffee and having a chat and getting ready for the week. So listen, everybody keep smiling, and we're going to talk to you real soon. Take care.